Hey guys, we're here at the NSRA Nationals. I'm here with the Momentum Chassis Chevelle from the shop. So a new car that you guys haven't seen out for a while. Brand new chassis underneath of it. But I'll tell you, it's phenomenal. Going out there and driving the car around town and getting here. And I didn't expect to go from cruising down this, literally was going to part stores, helping some other guys out on cars and just cruising around and hop right in there and get on the track and just boom, turn off a decent lap right off the bat. Made 4 or 5 laps already this morning. Went faster every lap, so we're definitely learning a little bit there. I don't know that I have to change anything on the car. It's the driver mod, I think, is the problem at the moment, but we're getting faster, we're moving up. This does have our single adjustable coilovers on it. Haven't even tuned on them yet. So that's kind of one of the things I tell the guys, like, don't start just changing things all the time before you find your limit. I think we found a few things that we're gonna touch on. We do have a little bit of an oiling issue. I have a valve cover, so we found some new valve cover gaskets. Hopefully we can get that fixed up, just trying to keep this thing clean as possible. We'll head out there tomorrow, hit it hard, see if we can get this thing down in the low 40s, maybe even 39s, we'll see.
All right, so we've switched scenes a little bit. We're out here at the NSRA Autocross. We're sponsoring that this weekend, so we brought some cars out to have a good time. We've got the G-Body here, the Hurst Olds, and we're about to put it out on the Autocross. It's got a full Ridetech G-Body suspension on it, the coilover setup. It's got our single adjustables, and we're gonna put Aaron Smith, one of our drivers, in the seat and see what we can't do out here on the Autocross. So we made 4 laps in the Hurst Olds. The first lap we did a 47.6, and 4 laps in and a couple of changes, and now we're looking at a 45.2. So about 2.5 seconds of gain. We've reduced tire pressure a little bit. We didn't realize it, but the rear tires were at 40 pounds when we got over here, so the thing was sliding around a lot. We rectified that. Also made some rebound changes on the HQ series coilovers, and we've made that improvement of about 2.5 seconds. So pretty awesome, and we're gonna go back out and make another final lap to see if we can improve beyond that, because we've only done 1 hot lap with all these changes done. So we'll let you know how it turns out.
G-bodies, if I'm honest. I thought the G stood for grandma, but Jason Brady just went out there and put the lateral G in G-body, and the battery said no thank you. It just, I think he was going on a left-hand turn, and the battery overcame the battery clamp and went into the alternator and ate the serpentine belt. So I think we found the fastest lap of the day by attrition. We've got to get this fixed. It was a 44.2 though, which was the fastest lap it's been today.
I was hoping there was a better one.
Well, we have been over at the Ridetech NSRA Autocross for a little while today. We've ran the G-Body, and we also ran the Chevelle for a few laps too. The car is super fast. It's running 42-second laps, but we've got an oiling issue. So trying to address that at the moment. Valve cover is leaking. We've replaced the valve cover gasket, but we're still encountered a little bit of an oil leak. So we're gonna get it back over to the trailer and see if we can't rectify that, but then we'll pick up where we left off. We are with Lily and Ruby, all the way from Ontario, Canada. Probably one of the farthest drives, I would imagine, of anybody that's driven their hot rod or street rod all the way to the event. So how was the drive?
It was great. It was about 9 hours of driving, and we stopped in Ohio on the way there, and very smooth and no issues at all. So it's
That's
good.
fantastic. I'm sure that is not the case with others that drove their hot rods here. I saw numerous ones in the parking lot that were hood up,
Yep.
addressing some sort of issue that
yeah.
should have been handled earlier, I'm sure. But
Yep.
so you guys are Horton's Rod Shop?
Yeah, Welder Series, Horton Hot Rod Parts.
Okay.
Up in Canada.
Fantastic. And you guys are running, I think your dad, DW, was telling me you're running our smooth body shocks in the front and our Shockwave air suspension in the rear.
Yep.
Give you a little bit of variability if you're carrying a heavier load,
Yeah.
like all the luggage on your trip.
There's a lot of luggage.
So ZZ4, been in there since I think he was saying 2009, something
Yeah.
around there. So it's just a driver, and you daily drive this.
I do. I drive it to church, to work, to friends' houses, everywhere. So it's a lot of fun.
Right on. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys for coming and hanging out in the Ridetech booth this weekend and for sharing some of your hot rod.
Yeah, of course.
Good morning, Ridetech Nation. We are back at it, day 3, NSRA Street Rod Nats. We're inside looking at some of the feature cars at NSRA, and right here behind me is one of the cleanest 72 Camaros I've seen. This is Slammer, and this was at SEMA, if anybody remembers seeing this car in the kicker booth. But it's here in Louisville, Kentucky this weekend, and, well, just look at it. While this is a perfect example of a coilover equipped Ridetech car, I saw a Chevelle over here a couple days ago that is on our air system. Let's go check it out. This 70 Chevelle was built, oddly enough, right down the road from me in Bowling Green, Kentucky. This was built in Central City by Sparky's Rod and Custom. This car is perfect. Obviously, big block and Chevelle, that's a perfect formula, but it's also sitting on our Shockwave air suspension and our E5 Ride Pro air management system as well. Kind of cool that we've got our 70 Chevelle out there with our Ridetech chassis under it, the Momentum chassis, and then we've got an air example of the same year, make, and model here inside the building. All right, so we've been checking out all the builder showcase cars, and this one catches me by surprise. I remember watching Cannonball run with the Shake and the Rolls-Royce Silver Spur, and that thing bombing down like some sandy road, and that's just always what I think of when I see a Silver Spur. But this is a Silver Spur 2, I think, Silver Cloud 2. And I'm by no means a Rolls-Royce expert, but this one's built by nobody in Keithville, Louisiana, and they have outdone themselves. It appears they have matched a car of this prestige with a chassis manufacturer of equal prestige with an Art Morrison frame. And I'm excited to see that our Shockwave air suspension is also getting this thing down the road. And this thing probably isn't going to drive 50 miles down a road ever, but it's nice to know that it would do so comfortably. With the type of person that would be chauffeured around in the back of this thing on the way to a croquet match or the country club, you've got to have a good ride quality, because with those dinner trays in the back, you don't spill your breakfast. Well, here we are at the end of Street Rod Nationals. It's been a great weekend. We've had a great time. We had the 70 Chevelle and the Hurst Olds over on the Autocross the last couple of days. It wasn't without its issues though. We had a battery issue on the Hurst Olds, but we got that rectified. And then the Chevelle had a little bit more of a persistent problem. We had an oiling issue that ultimately ended up being a hairline fracture in the valve cover that continued to shoot oil all over the passenger side of the engine bay, and that really wasn't safe to have out on track. So we've got that rectified, but we'll have this car hopefully at Triple Crown of Rodding next if you want to come down and see it at another event. But overall, Street Rod Nats didn't fail to impress for another year. I think this was year 56. So we had a great time out here as Ridetech, and if you have any more questions about Ridetech, hit us up at ridetech.com or check us out on social media.